So this afternoon we are out helping our beehives a little bit because we're going to be getting some really cold Arctic weather here in Iowa. It's January now, which is normal. So we just like to help the bees out a little bit. Now we really only have 3 hives that you would consider small hives we are helping. But then the other hives, what we're doing is what I'm doing, which I'm almost done doing. But this is the last one. We're scraping off any ice or snow that is on it. We got snow yesterday. A little bit, and then we're going to be getting a few days of snow and very, very Arctic negative weather. So the reason we are taking this off is because we just didn't get a lot of snow yesterday, but if it keeps piling up, then it could cover up their ventilation holes, which that would be bad. Then they wouldn't get any air circulating out. And also you want to keep the moisture out of the hive so they don't freeze inside. So that's what we're doing. So you take it off the top, then down here in the front, and if there's any little dead bees, help clean them up a little bit, like so. And now, after it snows the next day, and then on the weekend, we'll come out and we'll wipe it off again because you have your ventilation hole up here, down here as well. I don't know what that little girl is doing out. She's the only bee out. It's not warm out. You better get back in your hive. She's brave because it's still like cold out here. It's not warm. So anyways, now this is not a hive that we have to wrap though. Uh-oh, yes, look, I made the bees mad. Oh, they were starting to try to come out. Uh-oh, sorry bees, settle down. I was just trying to help you. I guess I was being too loud. Some bees don't like that. So you should be warned. If you have kind of upsetting bees, I was being loud scraping that off. It made them bad. Look at them. Yeah, look, they're mad. Uh-oh. Sorry, bees. Go back in. I won't bother you anymore. Some bees are more sensitive to that noise, so I guess they're mad about that. They must all been at the top eating, and I was scraping it off of. They were mad. Okay, so anyways, now, back to our second step that we're doing for our beehives is we're wrapping the small hives with insulation. Okay, now, if you see my channel, when we did the winter feeder boards, all of them have a piece of insulation on the top of their hive because most of all your heat, escapes from the top. But because it's going to get very cold, negative weather, the 3 small hives, which are the ones with just 1 box really, and that one did have 2 boxes, but it's still a small hive, we're wrapping with this insulation. So this is just extra precaution because there's not a lot of bees in there to keep themselves warm. So if we can help them, we will help them. Now, but a tip, don't cover up the holes. It still has to have ventilation. And the bottom, we have screen bottom boards, which you would know if you check out my channel. But we did put this is a piece of cardboard that we put in there to kind of cover up the holes so much cold air doesn't get in. But we are going to let a little bit of air come in from the bottom for ventilation purposes. We will cover up the bottom hole, but we will not cover up their top hole. So this one will just need 1 piece because it's only 1 box. So I'm going to kind of go like that. Okay, now I'm going to get the tape. Where's the tape? Alright, I found the tape. I'm actually taking my gloves off to do this. And so we already did the last hive, and then our very first hive are what we could consider the small hives, and then we have the middle one. So it's kind of funny. Our first one is small, middle one is small, end one is small. Then the ones in between are all big enough to keep themselves warm. Okay, so now we're going to stay underneath this top lid, of course, but we're not going to cover up that hole. Oh, look, they're starting to look around too. And we want to keep it so like that, probably, right? And then the bottom is air too, okay? So like that. Put the tape on it like so. Uh-oh. Got all messed up back here. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to need another set of hands. Uh-oh. I'm running out of tape. Hold on, I have to go get some more tape. Alright, so sorry, I'm back. Okay, so like I said at the end of that little bit, I ran out of tape. So we had to go in the barn. My husband found a piece of wire instead. And so he had to help me do this piece. That's why we couldn't video it. But he just put a piece of wire and then we made it tight and then we just twisted it. So it works the same as tape, right? But it was just a little, you had to hold it. It had more hands to do this. Just not one, two people, you know, one person couldn't do it by themselves. So anyway, so now it's wrapped. The top hole is still open. The bottom will still get air ventilation. The bees are starting to come out a little bit and check out what we're doing. Oh, look at these over here. I think it's because of the sun too. They're starting to come out a little bit before the bad weather hits. So, okay, so, all right, so that is how we helped our bees before the Arctic weather. Now, remember though, the 2 tips for when you do wrap your hives for Arctic weather. The top hole must stay open for their entrance and ventilation, and then the bottom, see, when we wrap them, this is up off the ground, right? Because the air still has to get underneath them. You don't want a lot of air, but you got to have a little bit of holes for the ventilation, or inside the hive where moisture will develop and it will freeze the bees. So you must have that ventilation from the top and the bottom for circulation. Just think of it as when you open windows in your house on either side, how you have that ventilation. Cross ventilation is what they need. So, oh yes, look, they're all they're just checking stuff out. They're like, it's still winter out here, but it's sunny, so it's a tad bit nicer. So, okay, so that's what we do to help our bees before the Arctic weather comes in winter, and check back to see how they make it when we unwrap them. Thanks for watching. Bye.